What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it. Back with the evening edition, inspiration, motivation, y'all. I'm glad I waited. I was gonna try to do this a little early. Just got behind. I did my live a little earlier today, and went on at 12 instead of 2. Went on a little early. Had a little extra time. Kind of similar to my regular schedule that I used to have back in the day. So if you came on 2, you missed me. I went on a little earlier, and we talked about some sensitive stuff. With Coach Prime. And, is it best for him to be there? Should he go? Should he stay? Just really being real about the situation and how everything could go. And I kind of expressed, man, ideally, if I was him and just looking at the best case, probably best to get up out of there. He got to do a whole rebuild. There's a lot of changes going on. And it's just unpredictable. You don't know where it's going to go and how that could affect recruiting and keeping the people from out the portal that he would need. And that would be even harder. You got one portal window now, and it's like you can't get rid of those guys and get a fresh batch. It's just different. And he got so many people he got to replace. I mean, you talking about 40 plus kids he got to replace. Primarily with the portal. Primarily. I mean, he got some high school guys, but primarily most of those guys who are graduating, people who are going to leave because they just want to leave, man, you're going to have to replace a lot of people. So it's going to be rough. I don't know if it's worth it, especially some major opportunities that normally wouldn't be available open up. Like we talked about Florida being one. I don't know about LSU, but I say Florida, Auburn. Some people say Arkansas. Penn State, they look ungrateful, man. This guy had a great season with the national championship and all of that, and they still want to get rid of him. So I'm like, man, come on, man. That's just weird. But I think that timing and just how things have changed, it might be best for him to get out of there. Just being honest. There's nothing against Colorado or not wanting Colorado, but it's going to be a rough side that he's going to have to climb up. It's going to be tough. I don't know how his health's going to be. I don't know a lot of things, but it's going to be tough. I don't know if they're clearly fully behind him with NIL and the board. I don't think they are. And it's going to show with whoever they pick and how they go about it with this new guy. This new AD is not going to be like what he experienced. Some people may say that's a good thing, but one thing for sure, we know that's not what attracted him there, and that's not the original terms and relationship that made him comfortable going there and choosing that place. So with that, I was like, I'm gonna come on back later on, do my inspiration motivation, but I stayed, and sure enough, I knew something's gonna go down. Shedeur Sanders got it first, not start. He got in the game after halftime. Dylan Gabriel, I guess, bumped his head. I felt like, it's very typical Cleveland that everybody come up hurt so other people can play. Every time Dylan had a significant start or whatever, Shedeur had to be hurt. It was rare that they was both out there in good health. It's just weird how that fall in Cleveland. But maybe he did bump his head when they got that tackle. I saw the way he was running up into them guys reckless. Like he on a suicide mission out there, man. Shedeur better be ready. I just saw it in this game. I've seen the other games, but I really saw it in this one. And it's feel kind of scripted because we also heard that Baltimore defensive coach or coordinator, whatever, was preparing for Shedeur to play, and he played. And it's like, did Dylan really get hurt, or did they just pull him and say he was hurt? You never know with these folks. This junk is so scripted. But Shedeur got out there, and the crowd just went raw. I mean, the crowd ain't even full. They couldn't even barely sell $6 tickets. I bet a lot of people, I wish I'd have been there. Because Shedeur hit that field, it was so loud for that few little people. They were so happy. It's good for the fans. I mean, that's who it's for. That's who paying their money and using their time to go there. Give them what they want. They wanted Shedeur. He go out there waving his hand. And for the most part, I think he did well. I mean, what can you say when the whole team up and blitz you? They outnumber you. Now, that goes to play calling. That goes to audibles. What can I say to a man that you don't get no reps with the people? I'm going to expect him to audible? He has no chemistry. He don't have no experience or comfortability at that level to change plays like he probably would at Colorado. But, I mean, they line up the whole team. Y'all got no hot routes. Y'all ain't making no adjustments. They coming, and you got them in third and long over and over again because you keep getting first down run, second down run, and then boom. You got to throw it. They know you're throwing it. And those downs, just like in college where they know you're throwing it, and your line is not that strong, you watching him drop back, and this receivers got their back to him. They still run upfield while the pocket collapsing. Who we gonna throw it to? They still running 20 miles up the street. 10-yard, 15, 20-yard routes. You got nobody to bail him out. No hot routes, no nothing. And you know they blitz. Why are you still in that type of route? And so he running and trying to buy time, and they still running routes. And the pocket collapse. These pros, they fast, they athletic, they jumping, they ready to knock the ball down. And then we threw the interception. The guy just stopped on the route. What you expect? Miscommunication with people you ain't really training with like that consistently. And you know, Shedeur thinking he gonna keep running to the sideline. He just sit. And Shedeur throw it where he anticipate him to go and throw it right to the man. It looked bad. Anybody know football, you see what was going on. I think the same thing happened in the back of that end zone. When Shedeur did that little spin around, he caught him slipping. And he pointed the guy out, and he throw it a little too far because he assuming the guy momentum. Why would you stop? You got the DB still coming. You got between here and that sideline. I guess Shedeur assume he gonna keep moving. He just sat. And Shedeur momentum is going this way. And Shedeur got a man coming. So he throwing it and it's right out of reach of the receiver. All of that come from not working with these people. You refuse to get his man the reps. He's standing around ice cold at practice. Then you always, Dylan need all the reps to get. Now your doggone Dylan hurt. Dummy. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. He's one play away, one way or another. And you ain't getting him the reps. So you got your guy coming. You really don't want to win. Because now he got to go in there. And he don't really know the thought process behind his receivers, and they don't know his. And they just come with reps and communication. They're not doing that with a backup quarterback. He was backup number 3, really 4 all year. Then he went to 3, then he went to 2. Then he was out, then he come back. And it's like, you can't control reps and injury, but you control reps from here all the way up to April, where he could have had a better understanding of just how those receivers feel, their speed, how they come out their routes. You watching it, but your timing is off. And your understanding of what they're going to do is off. They robbed him of that. Everybody know that. Yet, one thing for sure, they knew he would put that ball down the field. Especially, he really, after about fourth quarter, you really started to see, okay, he getting comfortable. He didn't play the whole game. He started to warm up, just like we seen with Juju. Even when he started, it took him a quarter and a half to 2 quarters to warm up. He ain't been playing. And he ain't been playing with these people. And Juju had reps all summer and stuff. But with Shedeur, it's like, yeah, he watching him from the sideline. And it's like, in a game situation, in a live situation, you ain't getting that. And so, you watch him drop that ball in the back of the end zone to the guy. He didn't keep moving. You saw him put that ball up in the air, that go route. The guy straight up face guarded him. He did not attempt to turn around at all. Put his hands up and still had his hand on the receiver. The receiver, the ball hit his hand, he stripped it. But the man had his hands on the receiver the whole time. They did not throw the flag. They did not throw the flag when Shedeur got hit upside the head. They didn't throw that flag. They just certain things you expect. And you're not going to get certain calls. There was some other things that they didn't give them the call, that they would give the call to other people. And they didn't want from it goes back to conspiracy. They not giving Shedeur a doggone thing. They weren't trying to give him the game. I watched the guy on the goal line stop the ball, feet all up in the air, all in the odd way. Guess what? They say, oh, touchback. Go look at it. Still a touchback. They were doing whatever they can to help them doggone boys lose that game. They didn't want Shedeur to win that game. He didn't come this far, and you just think it's just Cleveland, but he didn't come this far for him just boom. He gonna earn this thing. He took sacks he was gonna take anyway. They hit the doggone hole, the whole 3-4 guy in his face. Whether he spin out or ran backwards, he was gonna get a sack for loss. It may have been 8 yards instead of 15, but he trying to make a play. He got to learn he's going to get hit in the way to take the play. He had intentional grounding on one because he had to start throwing the ball away as he was getting hit. He was going to get hit anyway. That had nothing to do with him. That had everything to do with the quality of his line. It also had everything to do with what kind of plays are you calling that allow them to line up everybody and don't have to cover nobody. Like, they bringing everybody. What kind of routes are you running that you should be able to take advantage of that? That's football 101. You basically know the middle of the field going to be wide open. You basically know if you got a 3rd down and 5 and they bringing the whole house, you should know what routes is going to be that. The blitz beater. Yeah, these pros, yeah, they can drop, but they not. They coming because they banking on same thing that they did at Colorado with Shedeur. Nebraska banked on it. Everybody, that was the thing. They said we prepare for Shedeur. Everybody know blitz Shedeur to death. That's what happened in Colorado. Weak line, blitz Shedeur to death. And what Shedeur gonna have to figure out, you gonna let that be your career? Well, they just say, that's the only way we're gonna stop, because we give him time, he gonna carve us up. But he ain't figured out what to do when they blitzing him to death, from a audible standpoint and from a communication, and the coach's job too. Where are the hot routes when the whole freaking they running twists right up the middle? Okay, where are the weaknesses in that defense? Because they surely got to be in man to man for the rest of the, they only got the 3 DBs out there in coverage. The whole middle of the field was open. I watched one of the routes. I'm like, man, a slant drag, but they banking on getting to him. But what do? I know Colorado tried to throw a lot of little bubble screens and stuff like that. What do? You going to have to figure that out. Because that's all they're going to do to him. If he can get past that, then he can get to that next level. Because he got to get these people off his back. They blitzed him to death when he played in the preseason game. It's not a good thing when you got all this talent, your coach is not going to help you, and you ain't going to help yourself figure out, what do I do in this situation? If you don't figure that out, every week they're going to line 10 guys up, seem like, and just drop a couple in coverage. Y'all got to take advantage of that. I mean, doggone it. Y'all match protect, leak one of them doggone tight ends. Make these people get off your back. They ain't even got to think. They just blitz everybody and they can stop you. You got to make them pay. Now, I do think towards the end of the game, he was feeling himself. Receiver dropped the ball. I think he put some pressure on him. That pass interference didn't get called. That roughing the passer didn't get called. But they got to figure something out. With Dylan, he's not going to throw the ball down the field past a few yards. And I don't know why those type of routes wasn't available to Shedeur. Those little 5-yard routes when you was 3rd and 5. What was that? He threw it that one guy on the out at the end. The only other guy who was on the side of that field was running the doggone post corner in the back of the end zone. He was still running with his doggone back to Shedeur while Shedeur getting sacked. Only route he had an option for on that side of the field was the guy he threw it to. And he was covered. Where was the drag coming from the other side? Where was the other routes that was on the other side? There was nowhere to be found. Shedeur only had 2 options. One fool, he's still running. And the other one, he threw it to him and the guy made a play. Because it's like, hey, the DB covering with a tight end. The route concepts was garbage. He didn't have a lot of underneath stuff like Dylan clearly on his sacks. Dylan have a lot of underneath stuff. Now, I'm not saying don't be like Dylan because they know he can't throw. So all his routes short. But I'm saying give Shedeur some. Give him a couple of them. Let some couple people go deep. And give him mid-tier and give short. He ain't have none of that, man. He getting blitz and they still running. They back of their jersey. He's standing here. They still running. What kind of dumbass is that? Before you went on your route, you saw the whole team lined up right there. Why are you still running that way? I don't know who's that on. It could have been on Shedeur. Do he have the right to do that? I don't know. But I know that crap ain't gonna work. Because, these pros. These guys are all Americans and all that in their career. Their team may be sorry like the Browns. Their defense is good. They ain't won them but a few games. But their defense will beat the mess out of you. They got a guy who sack you 4 or 5 times a game, no matter who you are. So it don't matter about their record. They're going to have somebody on that team that can handle business. They're going to have something. You work against yourself. But I think outside of that, it shows you just got to be prepared. Shedeur, I guess, was prepared as he can be. Hopefully, he's more prepared in the future. Like, if Dylan was out the rest of the game, he's probably going to be out the next game, too, if it was that serious. Concussion or whatever he got going on. Shedeur got to prepare. Everything we got to do in our life is got to be prepared. Whether it's your career or whatever you got doing, you got to prepare. You're going to have to prepare. You got the Raiders coming up, a beatable team. They ain't got no world beater defense. They ain't no Baltimore. They ain't got no world beater nothing. He can go and light it up. All you got to do is outdo Dylan. Dylan ain't throwing, at his best, he might throw 150 yards. He ain't throwing no touchdowns. He's managing the game, let the running back run in, get a field goal. But unfortunately, if you go against a quarterback who can score, you're going to lose. Because you ain't finna just be beating teams with 17 points. 14 points. Barely 20 points on your best day. You ain't going to be doing that. Your defense today scored a touchdown, and then you had 3 field goals. That ain't going to cut it. You got to put that ball in the end zone. And you can't purely base it all into running back going to be able to get the ball in 2-3 times. Because the games when he did, he had low yardage, and it was mainly because the defense was getting the ball in the territory on the other side of the field. And so it was a short field. And most of the time, Dylan is scoring. It's in the short field. He's not driving down the field. They're going to be punting their butt off if he has to drive down the field because he ain't throwing but 5-yard routes and punt. Shedeur, he'll throw 40 yards down the field on a regular basis. I think Dylan threw the longest pass of his career so far. Like, he threw like an 18-yard, like seam route today. Where you see a Shedeur, he throwing 40, 20. He's more prone to throw it downfield. He's more prone to soften the defense up for the run game to work. Then you got to come back to that run game. But it's going to be hard to run when they feel like we can load up the box and we're going to put pressure on Shedeur and the run game at the same time. Because what you're not going to do is run the ball on us when we got 7, 8 people in the box. And also, you're not going to be able to pass the ball because you ain't going to be able to block all of us and we running twists and everything. So they really got a one-stop shop for them until they let Shedeur be able to open this thing up. They screwed. Because all they got to do is put everybody in the box, about 8 folk, and then let the other people be in coverage. And, they say when in doubt, blitz. That's what they say. That's the only thing. You're an NFL coach. They say if in doubt, blitz. Because if you run the ball, we're going to blow it up. And if you pass it, you ain't finna have no time with them. You running these silly routes. Even if you block well, your quarterback still waiting for the routes to develop. And how long you expect these guys to hold these guys up? The man waiting for him to get open 20 yards downfield, all his routes down there. He's screwed. So they say, y'all dumb as rock, and we just going to blitz because it's going to deal with everything y'all throwing at us. That's how the team said. It's make you very one-dimensional as far as how the defense has got to prepare for you. And it's causing you all to have very low-scoring games because your run game is screwed because your pass game is non-existent. That's weird. But hopefully things will change. I don't know at least for entertainment. They don't play it over this dude. I don't know if they deserve the benefit. They ain't prepare him. They want to say his name. They'd rather lose. I don't know if they deserve anything. So I don't know if he need to bail him out or not. But we all rooted for him since they did screw over him. It's an odd place to be in. But we shall see. It was Greg said, and make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. And I'll be talking to y'all soon. Y'all have a good one.